Hello. I was compelled to make this video, and I'm not really even sure what I'm about to say, but I want to talk about what's been going on in my life, what I have come to know to be my truth, and the journey that I've taken over the past couple months, albeit my entire life. I was on this, I just didn't see it. So I wear the chiropractor hat, okay? And I started my practice back in 2014 here in Buffalo. And for those of you who know me, it has evolved quite a bit over the years. And I started off in, I don't know, kind of a typical way of hearing about someone's pain and then adjusting that area. But I always spent a little bit more time with people, and I had a background in massage as well. And so I would make sure that the muscles felt really nice and do of my energy work because of my Reiki background as well. Blended it all in together. And I liked to spend time with people. It was important to me to make people feel safe and at ease and comfortable. And then I would offer the adjustment. Throughout those years, I started to understand more and more about what the body was trying to tell us. And after a Kundalini awakening that I had back in 2018, where I saw a lot of stuff, it was nuts, let me tell you. The coolest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Out of the nowhere. Getting a massage one day, and all of a sudden, I'll save that story for another time. So, but from that day on, I looked at the world in a brand new way, as though I had different lenses over my eyes. And I was able to see how everything is connected. Everything is a metaphor. Everything is a reflection as to what's going on within your soul. Because if you think about it, we'll perceive things in a way that makes sense to us. I mean, that's just how it is, right? Like, what you know to be your truth is your truth, and you look at the world in such a way. And then other people have other opinions because that's just who they are, and that's all okay, right? It's not about right versus wrong, or bad versus good, or any of that, because it's all important, and we're all just little parts within that spectrum. But anyway, I digress. In my office, I started to, in all honesty, I started becoming really resentful and angry sometimes at the end of my day, because I wanted so badly to help people feel better, to heal. And I put everything that I had into my work. And I would see people week after week, and literally nothing changed. It would come in and same thing, over and over and over again. And it made me so sad to think I'm doing all that I can. And I want so badly for people to feel better. And they come back and nothing has changed. So you can imagine, like I feel anybody would, that you do the best work and then nothing happened. I started to question myself. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe I chose the wrong thing. And then I was angry too. It's like, why am I doing all this work? I mean, nothing's happening. What's the point, right? But there was a point. No one can heal you besides yourself. What we as healers, what we as teachers, what anybody, the grocery store clerk, the baker, the shoemaker, we each are here to show you something that lives within you. So what I have started to understand is that our bodies, picture them as, well, at first I used to picture it as a car and a dashboard with lights going off, and we didn't get the owner's manual. We don't know that we're supposed to, do this, that, or the other thing, because we just dropped down into earth and like, oh, by the way, we forgot to give you the owner's manual for your vehicle. Sorry, good luck figuring it out. But I still like that one. But now I start to look at it as a house. And our bodies are such amazing, amazing tools. It is trying to tell you what it needs, what you need to look at, what's going on within your soul. Because our bodies are merely a reflection as to our inner world. And we push our bodies so much, so hard. And we don't pay attention to any of those fixed engines soon like going off ever until we're like on the side of the road, right? We will drive ourselves till we're just done, till our transmission drops, God forbid. And what it's all about is bringing ourselves back into balance and understanding that we don't need to do that anymore. We were never meant to do that. Because within our house, there is a family that resides, and the other members of this family are desperately wanting to be seen and heard, loved, forgiven, nurtured. And we do this outside of ourselves, but we don't take the time to do that for our own self. And that's where everything needs to change. We can't keep going and living in this life, constantly giving to others and putting ourselves at the bottom of the list. That makes no sense. And maybe it worked in the past, but we're living in the now. We're here to be able to undo all of the past regrets and mistakes that our ancestors have done. We get another shot at it. We all come in here signing up for life lessons of what we want to master in this lifetime. And our life consists of a spiral of karmic loops, ultimately wanting to go to the top of the spiral, right? And throughout our lifetime, we will be met with experiences and people that are players on that stage of that loop to see if we master the lesson. Most of us don't right off the bat. I know I didn't. I found some diaries that I kept from 7th grade up until mid-college, and let me tell you, as I read page by page by page of these diaries, I noticed a karmic loop that I played out for decades. And I was nauseous and I was sobbing as I just read these words that I wrote of like, oh my God, Melissa, you didn't see it until now. So believe me when I say we can do this subconsciously. But we always have a choice. We'll go around this spiral of the loop of this on that stage. And a time will come when you will need to decide whether you're going to go upwards on the spiral or go around that loop again. And oftentimes it's a choice that has some fear around it. And oftentimes it's a choice that is ultimately about choosing you. What is best for you? Nobody else. What is the choice based in self-love, forgiveness, compassion, ego aside? What is the choice that comes from our heart? What is the choice that stems from using all of the past experiences that we had and what we learned and what we retained? And then those thoughts coming in of, I'd like to do that. That feels right. But then we hold ourselves back, right? And we play it safe, because what's safe is what we know. Even if it's based in a belief system that it really no longer serves us. So we choose. And once we choose the path that is in our highest good and most aligned with our soul's mission and our karmic log, so to speak, what we signed up for, we go upwards and we ascend on the spiral and we see a whole new perspective to life. And the lessons will continue to come and so on and so forth. But every time we go upwards on the spiral, we are able to see a little bit more than we were to in the past. And definitely when we look upon the experiences that we had or were going through when we were a level down in it, kind of in like that chaos and that stress, when we rise above it, we're able to see like, oh my gosh, this person was doing this for me. This experience was showing me this, and so on and so forth. And it's beautiful when you see it. Also, you're out of the stress. And so it's like, oh, this doesn't feel that bad anymore, right? And when you're in it, it could be pretty friggin' awful. But when you're out of it, that's what I'm saying. You rise above it and you see the tapestry that everybody created together, what it was all about. And you'll continue to do this throughout your life, going upwards. But when it comes back to that vehicle that allows us to do this, our house, the house of our soul, the house of our being, what we chose to come in here to experience this playground on earth within. It's trying to tell us so many things, from the meridians of the body, which are little energetic highways that run up and down the body, that all have an emotion attached to it, that all have a yin and yang counterpart, giving, receiving, that all have an element attached to it: water, fire, air, earth, I mean, wood, you name it. There's so much within the whole Eastern philosophy of health with these clues. And then let's talk about where those meridians lie on the body, what emotions they're associated with, and where they are. I can go so down the rabbit hole as to why we may be feeling certain pains within our body based on where they show up, what's currently going on in our life, perhaps patterns that we play out over and over again. But I'll save that for another one as well. Our bodies are leaving us breadcrumbs, and it wants us to listen, to not ignore it anymore, and to be seen and to be heard. And we must be able to bring ourselves into a state of balance and forgive ourselves for the times that we may have pushed too hard, the times that we might have become complacent, the times that we weren't a happy family, that we were more divorced within. And we can forgive ourselves. We don't have to keep choosing to go through life the way we always have. Every moment is a new moment. And our world has been based around fear. And it has taken our power from us. It has taken our joy from us. And it has questioned our own beliefs of feeling safe to do things that bring us joy. We have to do things in a certain way, because if I don't do this, then I won't be able to support myself. I won't be able to support my family. I can't rest. I have to keep going. I can't play. What's even play? What's a vacation? Blah, 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 blah. Because I have to work. So I don't work, then I won't be secure. And isn't it ironic that the bladder meridian runs all the way down the top of the head, all the way down to the feet and along the spine. And there's a pool of it, pool of little acupuncture points down at the sacrum, which is the base, the foundation of our spine, our staircase up. And the bladder, the emotion, guess what emotion's attached to it? Fear. It's fascinating once you start putting all these pieces together and to see where your blockages are and where they're showing up on yourself. It's all a reflection. So that's kind of what I've been doing on my day-to-day, is tapping into people and seeing like, okay, what's going on here? Because at the end of the day, it's not about me healing anybody. I am not going to fix anybody. I can maybe take a symptom away and help facilitate the process, but only you can heal yourself by looking within as to what do I need to forgive. Because these dense energies of shame and betrayal and hatred and jealousy and abandonment, all those things, guess where those live too? Those live within the sacrum as well. We have to learn how to transmute those denser vibrating energies of these low, not so pleasant, because I don't want to say bad, because everything was serving a purpose. But we need to understand that we have called certain experiences into our lives for us to be able to experience those emotions, those patterns, and then be able to lovingly forgive ourselves and others that were involved in that, because it served such a beautiful purpose. Because we can't know what love, peace, joy, grace feels like unless we know what their equal and opposite emotion feels like. It's just the other side of the coin. So rather than berate ourselves into, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. How could you do that? You are just figure out what you want to say to yourself. Because I know things that I've said to myself that were pretty horrible when I was deep into my shadow work, playing out some pretty yucky patterns, when I was dancing with skeletons and feeling so ashamed the next day. Like, so ashamed. I made myself sick. I'm like, I can't believe you did that. And then I think back to a video that I posted a while ago, the things that we would say to ourselves, would we say that to a child? The things that we say to ourselves. It makes me so sad to think of the things that I've said to that little girl that lives within my heart. And I have to ask for her forgiveness. So sorry for saying these things to you. I'm so sorry for ignoring you. I'm sorry if I made you feel unworthy and shameful, abandoned, not safe. Thank you for sticking around and always showing your unconditional love and your curiosity and your playfulness. and I love you. These are the words that we need to say to ourselves. Because besides that little girl that lives inside, there's also the divine feminine, the divine masculine. If you want to think of it as a mother and father, you can think of that. The father, the divine masculine, the yang, the feminine, the mother, the yin. And think of how unbalanced that relationship is within ourselves, within the world, really. The yang is so much more utilized, it's out of whack. We're just going on constantly. Whereas if we were to support the yin, it's slowing down. Knowing that we're safe to slow down and that we will be provided for just by being, by resting, by mothering the little child that lives within us, by going out to play. What brings a mother more joy than to see her child light up with a smile? To see her child use their imagination. When do we allow ourselves to do that? Maybe you're blessed with children and you have that opportunity to play with them. They're teaching you something. But for those of you that don't have children, I don't have any children, so I don't have that experience. You have to go within and you have to understand this for yourself. That you are safe to stop and rest and receive. You are safe to play. Perhaps that's why things aren't going the way that they're going within your world, and they're reflecting that back to you, whether it be relationships that are falling apart, jobs that don't feel good, just being in the shitstorm of life right now. Because there's one going on. There's definitely a pattern showing up in my office of what I see. And what do we have to do? Stop pushing. Just surrender. Just surrender. And start to listen to your body. What is it really saying to you? And don't allow fear to get in the way and saying that you're not going to be safe. Because you are. You are worthy of resting. You are worthy of playing. You are worthy of feeling joyful. And you are worthy of having the most abundant, beautiful life, that you are financially secure, that you are secure within your relationships, and you are secure within yourself. So, I invite you to have a little family meeting within yourselves and see who needs to say what. And hold hands with all of these three parts of yourself. And understand that by having a strong family unit within, you're invincible. And that bond within is what will allow you to be free. Thank you so much for listening. There's so much more I want to say. It's so beautiful seeing this and understanding this in such a way, and to be able to want to share it with the world. Sorry, emotional. I want to help everyone bring their power back to themselves and to heal themselves and to liberate themselves from these self-imposed prisons that we've put ourselves in. And I'm understanding how to do it. And I'm so excited to share it. And I'm just trying to figure out how to get the word out there to the world, because it's so important. So I love you, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. I love you so much. Thank you.